Hello and welcome to part 7 of my Journeyman series and part 2 overall for Torquay United. It's been quite a while, I think just over 8 days since I last made a video. For that I apologise, but there's plenty to talk about, so if you will bear with me here. I'm not feeling too well. I've been sick for the last couple of weeks, but I've still been playing Football Manager from time to time. So yeah, a lot of results to talk about. Which should hopefully keep you entertained. So where was my debut? I think it was, oh javers, I don't even remember. It was somewhere, I think it was here. Yeah, we played Gillingham, so that was it. Yeah, we played Gillingham, beat them 2-1, beat Port Vale 1-0, Billy Bowden's goal. I talked about hopefully getting to the third round of the FA Cup, but despite scoring in 20 seconds, Cambridge United forced us into a replay, and that obviously drained our spirits, which meant we lost to Oxford, Plymouth, and then a replay at home on penalties. Very disappointing. Really wanted to get through, but we responded beautifully by beating Barnet 5-1. 2 goals from Billy Bowden, Rene Ho as well, and Joe Osler. We beat Burton Albion 1-0, and then probably the worst result of the season was a shocking home loss to bottom dwellers Northampton, who went 3-0 up at half time or something like that, and we just didn't have a hope of coming back. We drew at Cheltenham 1-1. Had a good run here, played Aldershot, beat them 2-1, Rochdale 3-2, hat-trick from Rene Ho, delighted with him. Rene or Rennie, not sure how to pronounce it. We lost to Wickham 2-1, but we bounced back by beating Accrington Stanley and Bristol Rovers. And unfortunately, since then, that was a push for the playoffs. But since then, we've been on a shocking run: 4 draws and 2 defeats, starting with Southend, then Chesterfield, followed by Bradford City. York gave us a thrashing as well. That was a terrible result. Dagenham and Redbridge 0-0, and Morecambe 1-1. So not too many league games to go, but I have been very busy trying to improve our fortunes, both financially and on the pitch. Let's just start with the finances, where I managed to cut down my wage bill a little bit by releasing players, but we're still £500,000 in debt, which is no good. One thing I obviously tried to do to make a solution was to make a parent team sign up with me, and Blackpool was the one the board chose. I thought Swansea City would have been better, but I'm delighted that Blackpool are on board. So how did I make advantage of that? Let's find out with my transfer history. So yes, a lot of business. I've been really getting stuck in. So starting with the new year, my director of football kindly did half the job. George Artemi released. Yeah, he's gone. Carl Baker is gone. Don't know if anyone found new jobs. William Lawrence, released him. Ashley Human, he was alright, but I decided to get rid of him. Danny Stevens has gone to Portsmouth, and he's still not doing too great, so you don't want to be taking risks when you're at Portsmouth. Oliver Todd is gone. Aaron Downs is gone. He was alright, but there is better out there. Ryan Jarvis is gone. He was a huge burden on my wage bills. Nathan Craig was the only player that managed to get a loan deal, which is to Basingstoke, and he's doing quite well so far. So now what have I done in the January transfer window? So let's begin with my association with Blackpool. I got Tom Barkhuisen, a right winger and striker. We don't have to pay any of his wages, which is great. Excuse me. Yeah, you can see I'm sick. So we don't have to pay any of his wages. He did well on his debut. I think he scored a goal. That was good. So pleased with him. I needed a backup goalkeeper since one of ours became injured, and Jack Bonham from Watford was the solution. Played fairly well on his debut, but he had to go on to international duty, I think, and that's why I didn't get to play him again. But you'll definitely get more games. I've only got him in for 3 months to try and compensate for a second goalkeeper, but I would love to get him on a permanent if he keeps his wage bill cheap. Again, Archie Love is from Burnley, a nice little central midfielder. 19 years old. He's got decent potential for our league, but he hasn't really settled in yet. So fingers crossed for him. Ruben Reed is another striker I've brought in. We don't have many strikers. Very poor debut though, but we have to pay €3,000 a month to keep him to the end of the season, and I just hope that when he gets more game time he'll improve, because we're running out of goals. This was one that I think the director of football recommended. It's Jack Munns from Tottenham Hotspur. Again, we don't have to pay wages for him, so I'm pretty thrilled with that. I've just played him the one time off the bench, and there's not much you could really do because we have good performances from Nick Finn, our natural attacking midfielder. We got Gerardo Bruna again from Blackpool. Unfortunately, he's picked up an injury for 8 days to 2 weeks now, so that's one guy gone, just as we gave away Nathan Craig. The one player I did sign on a permanent deal was Derek Reardon, €1,600 per week. He looks pretty decent, but overall he's not settling into the club. It's good that he can play attacking left as well, striker, but someone in the strike department has to stand up and take notice. And then last but not least, a very decent, experienced player on loan, thanks to my director of football. It's Marvin Elliott, who had a great debut. Very solid debut, helped us out a lot, and again we don't have to pay wages. But a player that could have come to the club was Sligo's Pascal Million, who was released in the winter. I'll just show him now. I rejected him obviously because I can't really afford to pay his wages. There he is, the very talented Haitian who's still at Sligo as far as I'm aware, but I just couldn't pay his wages, and that's the end of that. So still early days. With respect to all my signings, a lot of them were very late and others haven't had a lot of game time. My game against Exeter was called off, which I really wanted to play, but it wasn't to be. It's a derby as far as I'm aware. So let's just see our information. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Exeter is a historic rivalry, so that's all good. The league, I can't forget about the league. Since our problems with winning games, we have slipped down to 12th position, but we have a game in hand, so we could elevate back into 7th position or 10th, because we have less of a goal difference to Port Vale. That sort of thing. Northampton are doing well again, but as you can see, we really should be beating Exeter if they're that bad. And then one last thing, I suppose, AFC Wimbledon unlucky in the cup, losing to their illegitimate rivals, MK Dons, if you want to call them that. Whatever, the Dons are a good team, even if they're they don't really have a spirit. But it's a debate that'll rage forever and ever, really. So that's it for this episode. I hope it wasn't a drag, but I suppose, yeah, let's just talk about my best players. Rene Ho, he won't get a game time here because he's going to fit, but as you can see, look at that streak of goals. Phenomenal goal scoring rate since I started, but it's dried up, and it's given me a tough decision as to who to play. Who else is good? Lee Mansell's doing very well recently, as are most of the defence, even though we're conceding goals. He's settled into the right side of defence pretty well. Brian Sa is very good as well, some nice solid performances. And then he probably needed rest, unfortunately. Thomas Cruz was not really recommended by anyone, and he's done very well, even scored a goal against Chesterfield. Ian Morris is very good as well, not being biased or anything, but he gets a nice average of 6.9, very rarely has a bad game. I suppose I can't really comment on the lone guys yet. Nick Finn, very solid, what a penalty taker as well. He really loves to take a penalty, Graham Alexander style. and again he very rarely struggles to put in a good performance. Derek Reardon, not great. Joe Osler has been relegated to the bench, even though he's, according to the staff, he's my best right back, but he has had a few bad games from time to time, so hopefully I get a game in. Daniel Devine, you've secured him for the rest of the season, but again he's a little inconsistent, got injured as well, but otherwise he just needs to get game time again. Noah Thompson is a star for the future. Hopefully Billy Bowden is excellent as well when he gets his game, and hopefully he'll be fit enough to play again. He was on a good scoring run early on in our career, so hopefully we bring him back. Ray Spears, trying to get him out on loan, no such luck, but he does pop up with a goal from every now and then. 14 games, 3 goals in the league. Joe Tate is solid enough. Again, he's suffered from injuries and that sort of thing, so it's hard to play him, but that's about it. Nathan Craig is alright, Lathrop is alright, and I suppose that's about it. So, concluding the episode, we're going to try and go all the way to the end of the season unless something spectacular pops up. Yeah, so I need a bit of a break from Football Manager now to get my assignments done, so please bear with me. But anyway, that should do for the episode. See you hopefully in a week or two when I can pick up Football Manager 2012 again, which is going to be great. So cheerio for now.